not only watching, but they talking now.
All right, y'all, we back at it. You know what it is. Once again, the streets are talking. You know what it is. Your boy, the shortest damn man on the radio, the 5-footer, Mr. We're all the same height, laying down. I go by the name of Kyle Santillion in the building. You know what I mean?
It's Uptown Tone, Uptown Zone. Y'all know what it is.
Oh man, I'm the little cuz of the group. My name is Jarrell Fields, #1 real estate agent in North Carolina, Noir Real Estate Group, all black team representing.
No doubt, man. We got Rel on today, man. We gonna start with little cuz on today. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we got the hand claps. We official.
Yeah, we official. We not playing no games out here. Word up. So the people that have checked in with us before, man, you know, last time we had our cousin Leak on, well, Tone's brother, my cousin Leak on. And, you know, we highlighting family members, man. Today we got Jarrell on. Jarrell is our cuz. Like he told you, he's a real estate mogul, holding it down in Charlotte, North Carolina. And we don't watch you really come up kind of build a whole movement down there in real estate, man. Before we even get into the topics and things we're talking about, congratulations to you, cuz, man. Just tell everybody what it is you built.
So I just I got tired of not having motivated people that look like me to want to purchase a house. It's hard to do in a city like Charlotte, where it's full of people that don't look like me. And I got to a point where I was fully educated in the system, and people were looking up to me and saying they had questions. Agents were looking up to me, asking me questions all the time. So I said, look, I might as well turn this into a little, you know, just a movement, just like you said, right? It's how can I build this platform where people can trust the agent they work with, understand that the questions that they're asking are truly being answered, not for the sole purpose of money being put in their pocket, but for the sole purpose of helping me out. And we've done a good job of that in the last 2 years. We've done over $25 million in real estate transactions.
Woo, big talk, big talk.
Big talk.
So, and not just Charlotte, man. Charlotte, you know, in Fort Mill, South Carolina, all the way up to Winston, Greensboro, you know, so North Carolina, South Carolina. Just got another agent on my team that's licensed in Georgia. So we expanding, man. Just trying to build this platform and spread positivity to people that look like us and people that don't look like us too. But those they gonna buy anyway. But the people that look like us, man, it's all about educating and just showing them how to truly use equity and build wealth through homeownership.
Come to Philly for a month, man. I need you, man.
I'm with it, man. I'm with it. You already know I'm a phone call away.
Is it an educational platform as well as a business? Like, are you the broker and then you have agents under you? Like, what's the format and how you lay it out?
So yeah, so I'm not considered the broker in charge. You'll hear that term thrown around to a lot of these firms.
Right.
But I am essentially the owner and team lead of my team, Noir Real Estate Group. Of course, Noir is French for black. Sounds fancy enough for white people to trust, and black people pretty much know what it is. So
I like that. I like that. No, I like that shit.
But yeah, we focus on educating clients, man. A lot of people that think homeownership is America's what's it called, the American dream. It's not really homeownership, it's equity. That's the American dream, right? You get to a point where you own a home for a certain amount of time and you have available funds to you that you can take advantage of, essentially tax-free if you use it correctly. So educating people on how to take 50 grand from their mortgage or from their loan balance, or take, you know, 100 grand and go buy another house, put 60 grand down and pocket 30. So stuff like that. And then, you know, put 10 towards debt. So like I said, man, it's all about educating the people around us and trying to build this new, just this new era, man. Everybody's talking about investing and stuff, and they're doing stocks, and real estate is just so much safer. Money is so much cheaper to borrow right now for homes. So it's just a good way of teaching our people and others how to make money, man. Sleep where you make money. Everybody would talk about, man, I went to sleep last night, woke up with $2 grand in my whatever, you know what I'm saying? I did Forex or whatever I did, bro. Man, I go to sleep and wake up and I'm like, all right, cool. My appreciation is 12% since 6 months ago. So my house used to be worth this, now it's worth this. I could take that same money out and just increase my mortgage, you know? So it's different ways to educate people, man. That's really what we focus on, is just trying to make sure people that are around us know what the hell they doing.
That's what's up, yo. Yeah. All right, well, we're gonna pull that clip for your commercial right there. That's all the
I'm with it, man. I'm with it.
That was a good one right there.
Yeah, I'm with it, man.
All right, so let's get into these conversations, man. A lot is taking place in this past week. A lot of stuff going on in the world. We all have opinions on it. And I wanted to shout this out really quick before we move on, because we got to represent Winston-Salem State University. You know how we do it.
WSSU, man.
WSSU, the whole Ram
2006 to
family.
2010, you already know, man.
You already know.
You ain't a Ram, nigga.
I'm not a Ram, nigga.
If you ain't shit, if you ain't a Ram,
you
ain't shit. You family, but you ain't shit. Hey, nigga, that's all I'm saying. Hey, I followed the cuz. I legit followed the cuz footsteps, man. Let me give him a shout out real quick. Kyle Santillion, as the people in Winston know him too. Big Cuz went to Winston-Salem State, graduated in the early 2000s. When I decided I was going to go to college, it was between A&T. Only reason why is because I wanted to be an architect, and Winston-Salem State because of that guy right there. And when Winston-Salem State offered me a golf scholarship, I said, not only am I going to go to Winston-Salem State, I'm a major in mass communications.
Hey, my God, Cuz, man, love you, Cuz.
I drink to that one though.
Yes, sir. But I got my KFC cup, but y'all feel me? Y'all know what's in it.
Yeah, you already know.
All right, let's set it off, Tone. What were you starting with today, man?
Well, I actually saw a calendar. The calendar actually had the Capitol getting rushed in January. It had the Gorilla Glue Girl in February. And for March, as we coming down and winding down in March, because they said we keeping track in 2021. 2020 was just so much that somebody actually made a calendar to commemorate this stuff.
Right.
So we got this guy, Derek Jackson, man, who has a rise to fame. Once again, we have a internet famous personality. His rise to fame was, I guess, women's self-help, particularly Black women's self-help. He prided himself in pointing out, the right kind of guys, the wrong kind of guys, the right kind of characteristics, the wrong kind of characteristics, signs, all of that, things of that nature that a woman's intuition, women in general should be looking for when picking the mate, when being courted, when just dealing with men in general. And come to find out, he himself is a serial cheater. So
he's a dabbler amongst the
of course, the streets is in a frenzy right now. They are. Have been in a frenzy for about 2 weeks now, man. And it's all kinds of things going on. It's so hard to follow. This might be a story that we actually have to follow up on. Following this, we're gonna get everybody's opinions, but today, just to give you a synopsis of things that I've seen from just the time that the news came out that he was a cheater. I guess it was text messages or whatever. He has 2 mistresses. I guess that's what they're calling him because he is married. Since that time, he's actually released a reaction video by himself. He then upped the ante and released a reaction video with his wife. And that, oh man, that has in turn spawned spoof reaction videos.
Right.
I actually just saw that so a young lady in Atlanta, they said they got the whole thing kicked off. She has a video, just she has more stuff. He actually is continuously texting this young lady. As far as the day of the interview, he said something to the effect. And I don't know if any of this is real. I see it on Twitter, like we said, it's the streets is talking. Right. I'm just telling you what the streets are saying. So apparently he texted her on the interview day, or when things were starting to come out, and said, "Hey, if any bloggers ask you if you know me, just say no, you don't know me. You don't know me." She asked what it was in regards to, and he never told her. Then lo and behold, all you got to do is pick up your phone, and bam, it just hits her in the face. All this stuff is going on. So yeah, that's my hood synopsis. I'm definitely probably missing details. I'm probably way embellishing in a lot of places, but that's how the streets talk. So I'm gonna open up the floor to you two gentlemen and just let's get this conversation started, because we got a lot more stuff on the hills that is not the same thing, but in the same wheelhouse that we want to open up a kind of a broader conversation tonight about. So I'll let y'all go.
Yeah, so let me jump in real quick. So I think the thing about it is this probably wouldn't be as big a deal if he didn't try to paint himself as that guy. I'm the guy walking the path. I'm the guy showing you the guy you shouldn't deal with. I'm the guy you want to model your new guy after. If you want to find a guy, you find a guy that's like this guy. Like he's that guy. You know what I mean?
But then he tried to say, if you watch the video where he was talking about himself in third person. He said, he was like, yeah, this guy, he doesn't say he did this, or he's not the type of person to tell other people that he was that type of person. I'm like, bro, Yes, you were. Like,
Yes, you were.
come on, dog. Like now you giving yourself, you're doing a synopsis of your own video and then lying in the video. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, so I think that's really what it is, man. Like, because people know things happen all the time, but this guy painted himself as the model citizen. You know what I mean? And then that thing backfired on him.
But let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Quick.
Mm-hmm.
This day and age, and I've had this conversation plenty of times with people. This day and age, is it almost? I mean, there's guys like us. You know what I mean? We don't do nothing like that. But is there almost like you kind of have to believe that almost every guy is out there cheating? Like I hear women talk about this all the time, and they go, "This day and age with social media, it's easy for guys to cheat." Bro, it was easy for guys to cheat back in the day too. They just didn't have social media behind it. So even with guys in power, do you think that being in power and even speaking about topics the way he was speaking about them and what he was talking about, do you think that it's almost like you can't really trust guys in power that's out here saying they're not cheating?
I don't think you should trust these guys that are quote unquote in power anyway. You know what I'm saying? Yo, and I thought about you, Tone, when all of this came out.
I'm in power?
No. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I thought about you, because we had a conversation, I was saying last week, and I said something about what advice would you give people? And you was like, yo, my advice is don't take advice. So when I see this happen with this guy, Derek Jackson, and all of those people that were taking his advice and it blew up in their face, that's what made me think about you saying my advice to people is don't take advice. To your point, Ro, I don't think that, I just think everything is just more, everything is more visual and accessible now. I don't really think things have changed as a society. I think we see more of what was going on. You know what I'm saying?
And the documentation is crazy too.
Yeah. I think that's
like
it.
the
Not
saving of it. Like not only do you have the visual and all of that, but then you also have the ability to save, screenshot, do this, send that on the at a moment's notice. So I would say that in conjunction with the documentation part of it is crazy.
Yeah, I think it's more that.
Yeah.
I've had that conversation plenty of times because, you talk about people like I got friends whose parents split up because of infidelity, right? And they go, man, Pops had another baby across the street, but moms didn't know about it until, whatever. So it's like, you look at this situation, no, he had multiple, and then the wife sitting next to him like, oh yeah, it's all. He told me about it.
He told me. You want to get into that part about her sitting next to him? Because people had a lot to say about that too.
The one thing I will say is that the flesh is tempting. And I think that it's all in how you handle the situation. Like you said, I think even if he fell short of the measure or whatever measure a boyfriend was, it would have been better received if he wasn't the guy trying to paint himself as the guy so hard. Like they say, you can't throw stones from a glass house. Like it's going like somebody going to catch a window or two and catch you off guard. So that's just all I got to say about that. Now, as far as this interview with him and his wife, I see a lot of things. I got a hot take that I'm going to give, but from now I'm just going to give surface analysis. And my surface analysis is just, I don't know. She seems manipulated in some way. She seems, it seems scripted. Like even the way that's down to the way he's dressed, the way that she's dressed, like let's talk about him. He's very narcissistic.
Absolutely.
Like to the fact that he doesn't even talk. He talks about himself in the third person. All
right.
the time. You know what I mean? Like that guy right there. Like he really be in character of always pointing at the screen and looking at other people to the point he does it to himself. Talking about that guy. Like he's a person who probably in his mind can change every 5 minutes and be looking like, I'm not even that guy no more. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I just feel I get a very, very narcissistic vibe from him.
Yep.
That he's just very full of himself, arrogant, does no wrong, sees no wrong, says no wrong. And that's just the vibe that I get from him.
And I mean, you think somebody like that, I mean, if you got that take on him, the girl sitting next to him dressed the way she was dressed and looking very humble. It's almost like he handpicked that, right? Like he's taking advantage of somebody who is weak-minded. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Facts. Now I want to flip that a little bit though, because one part of it, people are attacking her about the way she looked on the camera. What if she really people are saying like, yo, why'd you have your wife looking like that on camera? And I'm like,
why'd you have her on camera, period, bringing her in this nonsense?
right, you didn't have to bring her on camera, period.
Yeah.
But also,
I'm sorry.
what if she was to the point like, yo, we got bigger issues than this bonnet on my head. I don't give a shit. Like,
Well, she made a video.
And right, what'd she say in the video?
She said something like, "You call this a bonnet, I call this empowerment," or something like that. You call this army fatigue, I call this, like, it was all kinds of stupid shit.
That was it was stupid, but that was kind of my point though. Like, why is everybody putting that power in his hands? Maybe she did decide, like, I don't care. This is how I'm gonna be out here. You know what I mean?
Were the memes funny though?
Yeah, absolutely.
They were putting different heads on his face, on his. Yeah, that shit was funny.
The Kerry Washington crying face was the one.
Kerry Washington crying face was funny. Even when they was killing the wife Blaze, man. I'm sorry I was laughing at those, man. I laughed to myself. I didn't laugh out loud at those. But those are funny. This is the first time Confess Your Hair on Streets is talking, man. I definitely laughed.
Yo, let's talk about the comparison to Derek Jackson to Kevin Samuel real quick, because a lot of people say that's what he get when Kevin Samuel was trying to give y'all the real. Y'all was running to this dude who was giving you the fake.
Yeah.
Right.
So
in the moment, yeah, Kevin Samuel was looking like the winner, but I also feel like what the Uptown Tone always says, you got to stand with what you do. So only time will tell. As Kevin Samuel starts to get closer and closer to that light, man, he's next up. He's next up in this. But the thing about Kevin Samuel is, one, I feel like he talks to women and men alike. He doesn't just target just a certain gender. So I think that he has that in his favor. And he say shit that's just common sense for real. It's just the way he say stuff. Like, before Derek Jackson reaches for these philosophies that he brought up himself, like that he feels like he manifested and is implementing himself. And that's the universe don't be liking shit like that, man. As you can see, like, you had to sit him down real fast. Like,
Thanks.
No, I'm the same way. I listen. I mean, I follow Kevin Samuel Instagram page, so I'm always like watching the stuff that he got, man. But that last one was hilarious, man. Like, he was saying about women, he was like, women give all these standards to guys, but where do the standards go on your side? And I look, just like you said, he talked to guys the same way though. When he told old girl that she built like Emmitt Smith. It's like, he was like, yeah, but you got these standards for guys, but you just lose track of it when it comes to yourself. But there's no standards for women. But same thing with men. He say the same thing when he interview guys, right? So no, I'm with you on that one. I mean, it's literally that's my guy. But just like you said, that magnifying glass is pointed in his direction. So if you're going to speak it, you better be able to back it up.
Yeah, no, that's real. That's real. All right, Quavo and Sweetie, man. Did he take the car back? What's going on?
I didn't fact check. The street said the repo man was out last weekend doing his thing. So I didn't do it, man. But yeah, I know it's a hurt piece for Quavo, but these guys gotta start doing a little bit.
Why you think that?
Go ahead.
No, I'm just asking why you think that.
I just think that they've got to just do a little bit better. Be like, for all the reasons that we just said, just the documentation, the visual things of it. Because even if you're not gonna go ahead with that particular woman, excuse me, you building kind of a reputation for yourself. You know what I mean? And not only that, but you also giving the leeway and leaving a little crack in the door open for people to keep prying into your personal life. And whether these stories that come out are going to be true, factual, or false. That's the type of stuff that make these celebrities go crazy at the end of the day, make them lash out, do different type of things. So I feel like just moving different in general. One, to not have people like the streets is talking in your business, because we're gonna be in your business.
Yeah, right.
And two, just it's just funny how I actually like Shorty move, man. We gotta make some noise for Sweetie, because she took the presents and then left. That's a G move. That's an all the way G move.
Yeah.
He dropped 2 M's.
Yeah.
And presents and gifts, because he been looking at his partner Offset. Offset they got caught a couple times.
Right.
Offset did master this whole thing.
Right.
And Cardi in a different atmosphere to where she probably not, you know what I mean? To where Sweetie is looking at this nigga constantly. You know what I mean? Cardi somewhere else doing Pepsi shit, and you know what I mean?
Well, I don't
requires a certain level of time and travel that, you know what I mean? Offset got a lot of time on his hands.
Yeah, facts. But
you know what, Sweetie probably looking at Quavo like, what's your excuse? I'm listening.
No, you good. I was just gonna say I think he may not have taken the car back, but I feel like he should have. I feel like
I'm not arguing that point.
Yeah, I feel like, yo, you know what I'm saying? If he bought her a bracelet, go ahead and keep that. You bought her a necklace, go ahead and keep that. You bought her $1 million Bentley. I'm taking that back.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't buy. I don't buy that shit.
Yeah, me neither. That's what I'm saying.
Fucking-
And if I did, I'm bringing it back.
Yeah, but that's the same thing we were talking about. Just like Tone said, I mean, it's the same conversation. Guys in power, they do dumb shit to where it's to the point of if you're going to decide to lock down a chick, right, or not lock down a chick, but if you're going to decide to have one and only chick, be that guy, right? Don't be. And I'm speaking from a point of fidelity, right? Like my wife is upstairs. Your wife is upstairs. You know what I'm saying? So I'm speaking from a point of fidelity. If you're going to decide to make that move as a man, like, come on, bro. Like, now you got, it's that black men don't cheat, all this other stuff. But it's like, come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna make that move, don't do it. If you're not ready, just don't do it. You in that position of power, it's always gonna be testing you. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna be faced with the temptation all the time. Let's face it, most of those guys got in that position. That's the first thing they thought of is, oh hell yeah, I'm gonna take advantage of this. It's gonna be shit everywhere. And then you go and pick one girl.
Yeah, but you know what though? You're right about that, cuz I also say the other side all the time. We had these conversations on the radio. Like, yo, so many women want, the celebrity, the athlete, you know what I'm saying, the rich dude. I'm like, well, okay, you could chase that, but what you think is gonna happen?
Right.
You know what I mean? So I say that to say that everything you said is correct, but she gotta walk into it kind of knowing that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But okay, right, both of them then. People in power. I'll change that from men in power to people in power. Yeah, people in power have to be aware of what being in a relationship truly means. I mean, it's just that simple. And for me, if I'm in that position and I know that I'm weak, and I know that the name of the game is who I can get my hands on or what I can get my hands on, then I'm not about to sit here and just wife a girl, or even as a female, I'm not gonna sit here and link up with a guy as my main guy if I know I'm still doing stuff on the other side. It's really that simple. A lot
of that is for pub too, man. These celebrity relationships, man. They all the attention they get for hooking up with people, and then now they've got the blogs talking about them. Like, I don't know. I'm just to the point now where anything that goes on in the celebrity world, before I even hear anything, I don't believe half of it, and then when I do hear the rest, I don't believe the other half of that half. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's the power of it's easier to grow faster as a team than it is to grow by yourself. Right. Yeah, so, I mean, when you power up, I mean, not to throw it into what I'm doing, but I teamed up with 5 other people in the sense of taking advantage of everybody's network and being broadcast on their networks now. Yeah. So now the people that didn't know me that were part of the 4 other people, now I got access to them. So for Quavo and Saweetie to link up, it's now you got Quavo's audience that knows who Saweetie is. If they didn't, you got Saweetie's audience who knows Quavo now. So now they grow faster. So it's a money move, but be aware.
Not only that, like in the words of Fab on one of them soul takes, hard to win the game when you're playing with a cheater. And it's like whatever game you playing in, and I think us as men won't really look at it that way a lot. But when you're dealing with a woman and you agree to be in, like Rel is just saying, speaking to what he's saying, in that group atmosphere, and you going and you stepping off outside of the group atmosphere, you kind of fucking up the team look. Like you fucking up the progress, you fucking up the analytics, you fucking up the points per game. You know what I'm saying?
The points, the analytics.
Yeah, you fucking up the team. Like, but we gonna look at it like that. You know what I mean? When we, do the shit we do.
Yeah,
so, but yeah, man.
All right, no doubt. What we get into next?
Who was the next person that was in this little triad of men that I wanted to speak of? Because it is winding down the last couple of days.
Jackson, Kevin Samuels. Oh yeah, Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah,
Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson and all the stuff. And we may have touched on this a little bit last week, but I think that it's really, really picking up legs crazy. Like I haven't seen anything like this in recent years.
Yeah. But it's at 16 now, ain't it?
Something like that.
Y'all believe it?
Yeah. So I was just speaking because the reason why I wanted to go so heavy on these issues to start is because we're winding down in the last couple of days of women's recognition month. I don't know what it is, but I know that we're recognizing women all month. Women's Awareness Month, something to that nature. I don't even.
We're terrible. 3 guys. We don't even know the damn name.
I think it's Women's History, though.
Terrible as shit, but this is my attempt at not being terrible, and I hope that you can sincerely hear that in my words. But no, just this situation, these 3 different situations, I would say, man, I just wanted to speak to the effect that in recent years, when you see the Me Too movement, when you see just the horror stories that you hear on behalf of women, just things are happening, and you see constantly stories happening. I just think it speaks to the horrors and things that they live that they always talking about. And I just want to say, and us doing this because we seldom have a woman on here talking with these issues with us. That I don't want to discount anybody's story and saying anything before we get into anything with just Deshaun Watson's thing. I just want to say that these are our opinions. You know what I mean? We just looking at the words and the facts and the reports that's coming through, and we just giving our opinions on what it is. I mean, at least I am. You know what I mean? I know you guys are too, and I know you want to speak for yourselves, but you know what I mean? Because I know it's a very sensitive and touchy subject. Like I said, the month is what it is. So let me go out there and throw that disclaimer out there first before we.
Yeah, no doubt.
Now, fuck this shit.
Now, without further ado,
it's just, so your point, right? It's just interesting that when he's making all this noise about wanting to get off this team and making a move on his own, and now all of a sudden all these allegations come out about him and these other women. You know what I mean? And I know when they first came out, he responded very strongly, like, "Yo, this is some BS. This ain't happening." You know what I'm saying? I'm standing on mines. You know what I mean? Which is kind of different than some guys where these allegations come out and you're like, wait a minute, how he responded? Maybe he did do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He seemed very sure of himself in terms of defending himself against these allegations. So it's kind of weird to me. Then now they're trumping up the charge. Well, I won't say trumping up the charges, but more allegations are coming forward as well. I don't know, man. I'm looking at it with a little bit of a side eye on it.
Yeah, but you always have to, right? And it's almost like you see this young guy who, he's not an ugly guy. He's a nice looking gentleman. Like, come on, man. Like, it's certain situations where even if it is true, it's like, why would you put yourself in situations like this? Or even the fact of, does he have to do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, you really think that this man, he may have, but again, do you really think that this man who is in this position of power has to do these things that have been, alleged? So it's almost like disheartening to hear that, it is disheartening to hear that something like that has been charged against somebody, but you kind of want to stay on the positive side of it and be like, man, come on, y'all just out here just trying to clout chase. Y'all out here just trying to, tear another brother down. So you want to hope for the best, but I just find it hard to believe. And then you get one person that says something, then you got 4 more people that come out, then you got, it's almost like, oh shit, here we go.
Right.
So here's another brother down. Here we go.
Man down.
Yeah. For me, it's just like so yeah, it's the number of women that are coming forth is always alarming. But for me, it's always 2 conversations, right? And I try not to get these 2 conversations mixed up because a lot of people do. So I try to be very clear in what it is that I'm saying. So for me, like we'll first just take the actual Deshaun Watson situation with him and the allegations from these women. And when I look at it, when Uptown Tone look at it, when I look at it myself, look at me doing my Derek Jackson shit and shit. When Uptown Tone looks at it, let me not be that guy. When the person right here, when I look at it, no. When I look at it though, I do look at the number, and the number is always alarming. And to me, when you say the numbers, not the numbers game, I don't want to call it a game or anything like that. But when you just look at numbers, the number of people makes it, for me, believable. It's like everybody can't be lying. Do I have a sense of, damn, some of these charges may be, as Kyle alluded to, maybe a little trumped up, or maybe somebody's throwing a little bit on there. Maybe I do have those thoughts, but I also do look at some certain things, and I look at the actions of the person that's actually in there. And he definitely has questionable actions. Like, he's reaching out to these women. He's traveling to these women in some cases and doing things of that nature. And he's creating a pattern of behavior. So whether the number of women, however you want to, I don't really want to slice, you know what I mean? Because if you did it to one, you did it to all of them. And that's just, you know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. You know what I mean? That's just how shit go. I mean, but yeah, that's what I look at when I look at it like that. Now, for me, the second part of it is absolutely the timing of it. Like, if somebody would ask me after you slice hairs and you have whatever debates, conversations you have about what actually happened and went down, how you receive this information, your first thought is going to be, well, why? Well, why now? And why is this happening now? You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to have the conversation and why to dissolve anything that Deshaun Jackson is being accused of. I think that both of these conversations can be had and move forward. One doesn't have to you know what I'm saying? They definitely coexist, but one doesn't have to knock the other or trump the other one. I think they're both happening simultaneously in a completely totally nasty situation. I think we're all in agreement in that. You know what I mean? But you would, as a logical person, ask yourself, why like this, and I mean, why at this time, and why like this?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It almost looks like a veil was uncovered because of a reason. Like, he did express reasons for wanting to be out of Houston. Did the horse come before the carriage? Did he want to be out of Houston because of this?
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Right,
Or does
right.
he want to be out of Houston and now this is happening?
That
You
makes
know what I
sense.
mean?
Yeah,
Either
that's a good
way,
question.
why is this happening? I think is the overall question that anybody that's first and foremost and that holds precedence over anything. So that's just when you ask me, that's how I look at it, and that's how I'm viewing it. And you know what I mean? I'm gonna keep eyeing it and just see what happens. Like I said, for me, I do. My personal opinion is I do think that he is nasty. I think that he's doing something nasty. He's up to something nasty. It's something about we just talked about it. Men with money. It's the arrogance. It's a discernment that gets a little bit lowered when they operate that we've seen through the history. And I think it's because of the system that is put forth and their precedence or their role in it, where they think that they are privy to some things and people.
Yo, let's stay here for a second, but like
Yep.
just bring it in a different direction, right?
Uh
So
huh.
all of us, we're all cousins. We all have sisters, right? So when we're talking
Hmm.
about these kind of guys, when we talk about athletes, whether they're athletes, actors, musicians, famous, money, powerful, this, that, and the third, what kind of advice or what kind of
I'm gonna fuck them
conversations?
up. I'm gonna fuck them up
No.
for
I'm
500.
with that, but if we got to go to option B, I think that's the conversation that we're having.
Yeah, but I'm not even. I'm talking about before anything like this happens. What kind of
Okay.
conversations do you have with your sisters or whoever women in your family or your life that you love when it comes to dealing with guys that have money and power? What do you say with them in terms of like dealing with those type of
Cool. Well,
guys?
let me speak on that too. So I'm raising a daughter, as I know Kyle, I know you've raised too. So
Yeah.
I'm raising a daughter. I'm taking some very different routes to raising my child. And when I say different routes, what I mean is I'm showing my daughter. I only got it down here, but I brought in a stack of. I brought in like 10 grand one day. Just sat on the kitchen table and said, "Play with it, throw it in the air, have fun with it." Her and her brother playing with money, throwing it around,
You say
giving
10
it back.
stacks, huh? You say 10
10
stacks,
stacks.
cuz?
Put it on
Okay.
the table,
Go
bro.
ahead,
No
talk to me.
lie. Put it on the table, kitchen table. Brought it in, let them play with it, right? And I put it back together and said, look, don't be impressed by anybody that brings that to you, right? So every time I bring home a stack, y'all can play with it. By the third time, they don't want to play with it, right? Because it's like I don't want to do this no more. Like, so you're not impressed no more? Okay, cool. All right, well, that's my method right there. So look, if somebody's coming to you with money, if somebody's coming to you with power, daddy already showed you that, right? Daddy already showed you how to be in control of the situation. Daddy already told you money ain't everything because you was playing with it when you was 5 years old. So don't let nobody try to flash anything in front of you that you think you can't get because you can get it all, right? So these are the methods that I'm using with my kids and my daughter specifically because I tell her to like, hey, see this right here, this stack of money. Don't let nobody impress you with this because it's just paper. So, I
Right.
mean, I guess you can kind of say, that conversation starts from the top, not just really, my sister, or something like that. But that conversation starts from the top. And it's us as men to have these conversations because the one thing that everybody say is every man needs a daughter, right? When you have a daughter, they go, every man needs a daughter. Why? Well, it's because the shit we did we now got to live that through our daughter and be like, I hope she don't go through this. I hope she, I hope she ain't in the car doing this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but that's what it's up to us as fathers to step in that role and wean them on that from the beginning, like to where when they get to that age where these things are happening, they're not, shaking their ass on Instagram. They not, you know what I'm saying? Like I just look at these women, man, and I go, man, one, I'm glad I'm not single. Because you know what I mean? Like I'm just glad
That's
I'm
a
not
fact.
out here no more because I wouldn't know who to trust. But
That's
one,
a
I'm glad
fact.
I'm not single, and two, who are they fathers?
Who are they fathers is the question.
It ain't who they brother is, who they father. Like that's real.
Facts.
Right.
Facts. Yeah, no, that was a good answer.
Yeah.
But yeah, 10,
For,
10 stacks.
yeah. For me,
I say,
for
I hear you,
me,
cuz. I hear you.
he been
It's
talking
like
heavy. He been
I ain't
talking
never,
heavy since he got his mic on.
hey,
yeah.
don't put no mic in front of me, dog.
Yeah, he been talking heavy since he turned that mic on.
Turn the
10
mic
stacks
on
to
and
cut the
turn the
mic
cup
on.
up, one or the
Yeah,
other.
I
10
hear
stacks
you.
to
I
cut the
hear you.
mic on. But listen, I'm not raising daughters, so I see it from a different perspective. And what I'm actually doing is on the flip side of what y'all are saying. And I'm actually trying to raise young men that are, you know what I mean, are quality and are respectable and are protective of those young women that you guys are raising. And I think that also more so than just us having our conversations with our women, with our lady cousins, our lady not female, lady family members and things of that nature. I think it's also we have to govern ourselves more in that nature. A lot of times we as men don't even talk on that front. You know what I mean? What we do in our personal lives, what we do in our personal lives. But I think that how we actually ultimately treat each other, how we govern each other as men, and what we will accept as far as what people do to women, especially our black women, I think that will also change the conversation too, as much as keep having a conversation with them on what they can do. Because a lot of times, a lot of them is just walking down the street not saying anything, and things of harsh measures and very drastic measures still happen to them. So I think a lot of what can be changed and just a lot of what can be added to that conversation is, like I said, what we do with and between each other's as men, as brothers, as protectors in this community. So that's
Yeah.
my perspective of it. Like I said, I don't have any daughters to raise, so that's the only perspective I can give. You know what I
No,
mean?
that's perfect though. I mean, that's still good because there's two sides to the coin every time. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I ain't never
Absolutely.
dropped 10 stacks in front of my kids, which I think is actually
Nah, I
a
might gotta.
genius.
I might got shit. I might about to do. That sounds like a good
Yeah,
idea.
that's
Oh,
a genius idea. Cause and I think for me, when it comes to my daughters, one with me being on the radio all of these years, and them having opportunities to take pictures with celebrities and things of that nature, I don't think at a certain point you're going to be able to impress them with that celebrity thing as much. So I do appreciate what you were saying in that regard. And I just always try to be a little bit more empowering in terms of like, yo, you know, and I'm not on some anti-guy stuff, but not relying on men stuff. Like, don't feel like you got to be with a guy because he has this money or he has this car or he is in a certain position. Anything that you see anybody else, male or female, have, you know what I'm saying? I want you to feel like, yo, I have it within myself to go get that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And even in terms of like, a lot of people get caught up in this world, you know, in a career and a profession and in a life that they don't love, because they just trying to pay bills. I mean, even with Nadia, my oldest, man, she about to graduate college in a couple months. So we've been through the project process. Yeah, she about to graduate college, bro. So we've been through the process between her finishing up high school to her graduating now and identifying what it is that she loves to do in order to make a career out of it. So you're not even chasing that on the back end. You know what I mean?
Right.
Do what you love, live the life that you want to live in your way, and feel like you can get whatever it is you want to get for yourself rather than depending on not just other men but other people for it. You know what I
So
mean?
That's a
let
fact.
me ask you a question too, Kyle. This is kind of not on that topic, but it is on that topic. So I remember. I mean, we family. So I mean, I've known Nadia all her life. So looking at how she was at a young age to how she is now, where do you rank, in an honest opinion, where do you rank your parenting skills when it comes to feeling like you've done everything you've done and you give yourself the thumbs up? Where do you think that lies with your
I
daughter
don't
when it comes
I
to
don't know. I think you'd have to ask her that question. I
yeah.
felt good. Recently we went to Jacksonville. And our cousin Brian was there. We were in Jacksonville. And Brian, I guess he had a conversation with Nadia, and I wasn't even in the room at the time. And he came back and was like, yo, cuz he was like, y'all doing a good job with your parenting, man. Cause Nadia is amazing. Like we just sat down and
I
talked,
think,
busted up.
and I think that's the ultimate answer right there. Is the
Yeah,
test is when your child actually goes out and is not around you. When your child is being your child. When your
yeah.
child is not only being your child but has evolved into themselves as they've always been. I think that's the ultimate test. I think that's the ultimate test. Like your mom used to always say, like when you get in trouble in school, you embarrassing me. You know what
Right.
I mean? Like
right,
Not
right.
if they
embarrassing.
not out there doing that and they actually doing the opposite, like getting kudos to that nature, it's like, yeah, that's when I feel like when you hear shit like that, it's like,
Right.
yeah, all
But to
right, cool.
add
You know
on
what I
to
mean?
that, too, cuz to answer your question, there's always things that pop up in my mind. And I'm like, damn, I wonder if I spend enough time on that. I wonder
Mm.
if I spend enough time on this. You know what I mean? And damn,
Like
maybe
what?
I
Like
could
what?
have built her up more here. And I wonder if I missed
Okay.
opportunities in that way too.
Are they things that are outdated that you can no longer do?
No, but maybe they would have been more impactful when she was younger.
You never
So it's
know.
not that I can't do it,
Right.
right? You know what I mean? But I'm like, damn, I wanted to do it during a certain time when she was growing into being who she is. You know what I
Is
mean?
it something that you wanted to do and didn't do, or something that you like, oh, I didn't do it. I didn't think about that back then.
No, stuff that I plan on doing and then just got sidetracked,
Right.
stuff
Oh,
like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
yeah.
So I say all
I
that to
feel
say
that.
that I think overall I do feel like myself and Shonda have been good parents. You know what I mean? But as a father, I always think like, you know, there's always things you feel like you could have did better, or there's things that you could have done to even do an even better job as they grow older. That's all.
Yeah.
I can dig that. I can
Yeah.
definitely dig that.
Yep. But yeah,
I think
that's
we
what's
all as
up.
we all as parents got that though.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think so.
but think about it too. To like, or let's think about it also. us growing up, right? There was always that kind of extra pat on the back that you gave yourself when like somebody went up to your parent and complimented them on how you were acting, right? It was almost that sense of hell yeah. You know what I mean? Like, so I mean really. So that's cool though. The fact that us as parents, because I'm not at that point where I am a little bit like everybody says, oh, your daughter's doing great with gymnastics or cheerleading, your son's doing, but I'm not at that point where my son has walked into a room, greeted everybody. Like my goal, what I want my son to do is the same stuff y'all kind of raised me on. And I say that it's funny because I give this example all the time. When I was 5 years old, y'all may not remember this, but we was at Ramran's house and y'all, Brian walked in, Alex walked in, Tone was already there. And Kyle, I think you were there too. But I know for sure Tone was there, Brian and Alex had just walked in. Brian and Alex walked in, dapped up Tone, and then they shook my hand. And I couldn't shake hands at 5. Like I didn't know how firm to grab the hand. I didn't know what to do. And to this day, Brian still tells me he remembers it. Right. But to this day, I'm 32, bro. And at 5 years old, I remember my cousin saying, man, get that weak ass handshake out of here, right? So for me, dog, for me, my son is 9 years old, bro. My son is 9 years old, and I can walk up to him right now and dap him up and make sure and he got the right grip and everything. But that was a goal of mine. Like you guys made me that's a small goal, but that was a goal of mine to make sure at 5 years old, my son gonna know how to dap somebody up.
I feel that because I feel
the grip of hand and all that.
Yeah, I feel that pride too. Because when somebody shakes Carson's hand, I've had him do the same thing. So and they be like, "Oh, he got a little grip," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's what's up."
That's me. I thought of that.
Yeah, that's what's up. Right.
That's funny.
That's the shit, man.
I was actually just having a conversation with somebody about that, and that's funny that that's kind of like the universal marker for, well, not even universal, but like the kind of the initial marker or rites of passage is at least the handshake. You know what I mean? Yeah. Firm grip, look a man in his eye.
Yeah.
And when your son nails that, it's like this first step into self-confidence. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely,
even
been there with Kane and all of that. You know what I mean?
Yep. Right there on the back. When he get the little pat, I'm like, oh shit, he patted him.
No, I agree, because I recently was at we was in North Carolina at Shonda's parents' house, and I met this dude, somebody they went to high school with, and he gave me like the handshake, but wasn't really like the halfway paying attention, John, where you kind of looking over here. I said, oh, see, that shit weak. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right. You ready to test him?
Yeah, that shit was weak, yo. And I went to Twitter like, man, it's a weak ass handshake ass nigga.
Weak ass handshake.
This nigga wasn't even looking at me when he shook my hand. I said, okay, I don't even trust this book.
Right.
I mean, off top.
Get out of here.
Like I said, that's been in my head since I was 5 years old, man. I still tell people that same story. I remember it like it was yesterday. 5 years old.
Or when somebody give you the spaghetti joint, when they get your fingers and shake your hand hard.
You do this, you shake this part. Oh,
yeah, I hate that shit.
Oh, come on.
Rip your shit off, all fat. I mean, too anxious for the firm handshake. A rookie. Yeah, I mean, I hate one of them, man.
He needs a little more.
He need a little bit more. He need a little bit more timing practice. You know what I mean?
I think post COVID, there's gonna be a lot of those. People gonna be so happy.
Post COVID, it's gonna be a lot of these, Jones.
Yeah, right.
My brother, Air 5. Right.
Facts. Now, I just wanted to ask all that, man, because I think that's coming off that conversation about Deshaun Jackson. I know we all trying to raise people in this society. So
yeah, but I know we always say it, but I would to like have the to open up some kind of forum. I know we wanted to kind of do it tonight, but we kind of fell behind. But I want to open up some kind of forum on this subject because I think this was a really good conversation that us three had tonight. Three fathers. I would like to hear from some women. I would like to hear from people in general, man, just on these things, these topics, toxic masculinity, as they're calling it, you know what I mean? Or just I like to
as
just
they're
call
calling
it,
right.
I like to call it like my OG, rest in peace, and my namesake, Mr. Tone. Mr. Tone was an OG down in Frankfurt, Northeast, Philadelphia, that I used to work with. He was heavy in the community down there, but he used to just look at me. He was an old player too. He used to always have a toothpick, Kango, linen shirts, you know, that type of OG.
Mm-hmm.
But he used to always say, it's a man-woman thing. It's necessary. So that's what that's what I like to explain it as. You know what I mean? We haven't quite mastered that and figured that out. It's a man-woman thing. Like this is our biology. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, you could call it toxic masculinity. You can call it women with issues. You can call it blase blip. Like my man Frank Lucas said, put a chokehold on it and call it blue dog shit. You call it what you want. Well, we got to work on better in this thing, man. And that's what I'm here for. That's all. That's how I'll wrap up.
Yeah, facts. I feel you. You want to get into that on another one?
What was another one? Was it? We got one more.
You wanted to get into that on this podcast. Or you want to talk about that later? You said
we talked about.
No, we're gonna talk about that later.
Yeah.
No, I said I wanted to have a forum, something like under the comments when we release this or something like that.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I'm with that because
to open the conversation there, to open the forum there, because I think we had a good conversation. We could talk about it all day, but I want to hear what some other people think about that, just in this episode particularly, so we could make a note of that. You know what I mean, in the caption or whatever. Yeah. Just to open up some conversation about this. You know what I mean?
Well, I know I went on social media probably 2 weeks ago, and I made a comment to the effect of, y'all label any masculinity toxic masculinity at this point.
I feel that way.
You know
I feel that way a lot too.
Yeah, and then this girl had replied, and she was like, she sent me a link about what toxic masculinity is and all this shit, and I'm like, yo, I understand everything. I understand.
Don't bite.
Yeah, I said I understand everything that this link is saying, but that's not what I'm saying.
Right.
These might be specific examples of toxic masculinity, but masculinity in general is not something you should look at as being toxic. Like
at all.
It's so annoying. It's aggravating, man.
It very so is, man. That's why you gotta just, like I said, and I'm the one to be telling somebody you gotta disengage, or you know what I mean, like. But I'm learning, you know what I mean, and my maturation, that it is sometimes best to just say what you gotta say and you leave it there. You leave, especially at your stature too. You say what you say, you stand on that, and you leave the masses. You leave the masses to expound on that.
Y'all debate it.
I said what I said. Like I think about the Nene meme. I said what I said. You know what I mean? Like,
facts.
You say what you say and you keep it moving. I'm already on to the next post. That was 3 posts ago. I don't even know what you're talking about no more, man. Facts. I enjoyed that when I got more for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's more the approach that I've been taking.
Yeah. What'd you say, bro?
No, I'm rocking with you. No, I'm not about to jump in and act like I'm, gonna say something different. Fuck it. People say that shit all the time about toxic masculinity. I'd be like, whatever, bro. Like I hate to say it, but I'm like, nah, that ain't toxic. Whatever, bro.
That's a fact.
Right.
I let it roll off. But see, I'm that nigga that just I don't really feed into opinions. Right. So I'm not I never really cared. Motherfucker, I was a black kid playing golf at 7 years old. Like I give two shits about anybody's opinion. So somebody called me today, bro. I let a member of my team go last week. Right. So just a business move. She wasn't being productive, whatever. Right. And I said, hey, you're not hurting the team, but you're not helping the team. So I gotta let you go. This was last week. Today on Instagram, she put some shit up in her story talking about, get a mentor, blah, blah, blah. So I reached out to her and I told her, I was like, how sad. I was like, that's sad. Like, you're not accepting responsibility for yourself and your actions, and you blaming it on the fact that you only been in the business for a month. But the other 3 ladies that came into business with you, they out here killing the game. So you're not taking no responsibility for yourself. This motherfucker called me egotistical, some shit, and what's the shit where you like yourself a lot? Narcissistic.
Yeah.
She called me egotistical and narcissistic. And that's what she called me. And I said, damn. Damn, what the fuck did I do? What did I do other than pick you to be on this team to try to help you and you not accept that? So in her mind, I'm toxic. In her mind, my personality is egotistical and narcissistic, but I run a team full of women that are killing the fucking game, but you can't accept responsibility for yourself. So it all comes down to how people are perceiving. You can say I can say I'm not toxic. I might be toxic, but I don't think I'm toxic, but she the only one that think I'm toxic. So her opinion to me don't matter. And the same thing in this situation, when people throw out that toxic masculinity shit, it's like, that may be toxic to you, but it ain't toxic. So you just need to fix whatever you got going on. But maybe it is toxic. But if I'm looking at it from a different scope and I say it's not, you say it is.
Facts. And I think also not all, but I think some women use it when it benefits them too, because we live in this world right now where everybody wants everything to be equal. And so they want to get what they want. You know what I'm saying? Like from that side of the coin, when we're talking about like men and women stuff, like you said earlier, Tone, You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, yes, you can be the working woman and you can have all the things you want in the world and you can have all of this kind of stuff. But then, wait, you just said you still want this dude to take care of you and do all this other stuff that these are traditional values, right? So do you want the modern values or do you want the traditional values? And when you don't get whatever one you want, now you're labeling that guy as being toxic. Like I'm confused. Like
that's what I'm saying. It's
intermingling all these things at times.
Yeah, it's all based on the person that's reading the room or the guy or whatever it is. It all comes down to how that person dealt with things in their past or how they compartmentalize things in their mind. All of that comes into play with what they call toxic and what is truly toxic, and just what, or maybe it's just something they can't handle or something they're not used to. That doesn't make it toxic. And no, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah. Thanks. No doubt.
Yeah, bitch called me egotistic. Like, what? I was like, I don't get this shit. Oh, hey, edit this shit out. Hey, this bitch called me egotistical, bro. I said, bitch, I fucking run the team of 7 agents, women. What the fuck I'm doing? What are you talking about? I literally hand off business. How am I fucking anything egotistic? Like, yo, get the fuck
You hated that one.
Yeah, right. He felt a way about it. Look at it.
You hated that one.
All right, back to my not calling women bitches. Go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead.
Yeah. All right, yo, let's wrap up on some music stuff, man.
Hey, I don't know about y'all, man. I know y'all. See, that's another thing about growing up with y'all, man. I grew up in a house full of DJs, full of rappers. Uptown Tone's a rapper. I got DJ Eddie Kane up the street. I got Easy Ed up the street.
Right.
So I grew up in a family full of music heads, man, and I have always and forever will be the R&B guy. So everybody else is the rap. I've always been the R&B dude. Remember, I was Boyz II Men back in the day, Tone?
I was Boyz II Men. He was all 4. He said I was Boyz II.
He wasn't one of them. He was all 4 of them.
He was all 4. I was Boyz II Men.
I always been the R&B dude.
I was a boy to a man.
He was singing every part.
About?
Jodeci, I was the motherfucker taking my shirt off in the family cookout. Like, that's just what I did. I was the R&B dude, man. So I'm looking forward to these verses with a lot of these R&B dudes. Yeah,
before we get into the verses, because we definitely
let's get into the verses. That's what I'm
definitely got into that. Yeah.
The butcher coming, Nuka.
Yeah.
Benny drop, yo. Man,
Plugs I met too.
Plugs I met too, dog. All produced by Harry Fraud. Shout out to Harry Fraud. Produced for so many different people, man. Harry Fraud got crazy shit with Currency that I like too.
Yeah, I like it.
But Benny the Butcher, Griselda Zone, Buffalo Zone.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Montana and Genesee. You already know what it is, dog. Big BSF. That's my guy, man. I really fuck with Benny, man. He be on the first snare's ass every time still. Like, it's no
off top.
Yeah, off top. It's no, you know how everybody get cool. They want to let their chain make that noise in the microphone, or they want to talk their shit for an extra minute. Give you as soon as the first snare is on, Benny on. Benny on. You ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? It's like you got, oh shit, he rapping already? Yeah, he right into it. It's no bullshit. The project is real, clear, concise. What is it? Fucking 9 songs?
9 tracks. The plugs I met too, 9 tracks.
Get right in. 9 tracks, like 45 minutes. Get right to you. Get right out. Listen, I got this to say, and I'm right out your hair, my man. I mean, quick car ride to whatever business you're doing, and it's that motivation music, man. It's that grinding every day. I gotta say, I just spent the ticket in the butcher store, dog. I'm looking forward to getting my merch. Benny, I just need an apron. That's all I need is an apron. I got some vinyl coming. No, man, but it's just good music. It's just real good music. The beats is real good. The lyrics is real good. High content. I fucks with it, man.
So all right, so 9 tracks on there, right? 1, When Tony Met Sosa. 2, Overall featuring Chinks. 3, Plug Talk with 2 Chainz. 4, Live By It. 5, Talking Back featuring Fat Joe. 6, No Instructions. 7, Longevity with French Montana and Jim Jones. 8, Survivor's Remorse with Rick Hyde. And 9, Thanksgiving. Give me your top 3.
2, 6, and 7.
You all right? 2 overall, 6 is No Instructions, and 7 is Longevity.
Jim Jones go nuts on the end of that song.
I'm gonna give you mine. Mine is 3, 2, and 8.
What's
Plug
that?
Talk
Mm.
overall.
With 2
Hold
Chainz,
on, hold
You
on,
said Plug
hold
Talk
on,
with 2
hold on,
Chainz?
hold
Yeah,
on, hold on,
yeah,
hold on. Am
yeah,
I hearing this right?
yeah,
You got 3 in your top 3, and I don't.
yeah.
Chainz,
Plug
man.
Talk is and plug. I like Plug Talk. Plug Talk is tough, but if I'm
I
hearing this
love
right,
Plug Talk. I love
with
Plug
two,
Talk.
with yo, I just said this on COVID, yo. I just said, yo, I love when people like Benny make half-ass rappers that can rap all the way, like
Right.
Chainz can rap, and he
He's
made 2 Chainz rap on that fucking. Oh, you was like, oh, Chainz, oh, okay.
yeah, I
Y'all
know. I
ever just
know.
y'all ever just listen to Tone like talk about music? That shit is like fucking heaven to me. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like I used to stalk Tone's page when he was rapping. I used to stalk his page and watch his Freestyle Friday stuff, bro. But I just listen to Tone. I miss the reason I don't listen to rap music that much anymore. When I tell y'all, I used to listen to Cali Mode. That's Uptown Tone. I used to listen to Cali
Cali
Mode
mode.
all the fucking time, right? I
Right.
mean, I let my tape rock till my tape pop.
Right.
All that
Yeah.
shit, fucking literally ain't had no face on the tape box. Like all of that, I know all the words to every fucking song on Cali Mode. That's my
Yeah,
top.
That's
yeah.
So what
dope.
I'm saying is, my standards for music has changed, bro. Like I listen to Tone and I go, man, I wish
Yeah.
he'd get back in the fucking.
As they should. I mean,
Yeah.
yo, as they should. That's what I love about just our circle in general, man. Like we don't just accept whatever the bar is that the
Yep.
general public
Nah,
puts
we
out
be
there.
excelling on some, and we
Yeah,
don't even be looking at it like that. We be looking at it like we be fucking up, and other people like what? Like, and that's the crazy thing about it, man. But I definitely appreciate that, man. I definitely
Yeah,
yeah.
no,
appreciate
I'm so
that.
serious. I still got.
But your
You know, actually,
verses,
I
my
don't
bad.
have.
Go ahead,
Go ahead. My fault. Go ahead.
go ahead, Kyle.
He
I hear
playing. He
something
playing
in
the
the
shit.
background.
Y'all
He
hear it?
playing it. He playing it.
I hear you. Yo,
That's that fire.
yo, it's
That's
funny.
that fire.
That is funny. That's funny that you saying that, man, because it almost feel like a flip of a coin just happened, yo. I feel like
Well, there's two things. Go ahead.
I feel like my top 3 is all of the core boom bap shit in the whole album. And for you to say number 1, not even, and I know you didn't put it in any order, but for in your top 3, for you to not even say have come around but for you to have a 2 Chainz song in there, not even 2 Chainz, but a 2 Chainz feature in there, and yet in the top 3 of any kind for Kyle Santillian, that's like
That is different. I
2021
know.
shit, man. That's 2021
But
shit, man.
but let me be clear though. I think you're right in that regards. Like I do respect 2 Chainz verse on here. I do respect it. But it's an overall thing. Like, and I think with me, like I've always been into lyrics, right? Lyrics is the thing just from writing and all of that. But even beyond that, even before I ever wrote a rhyme, I was DJing. So the music and the samples, it's like 50-50 with the music and the bars for me. Yeah, the feel.
that
And
feel.
and that Plug Talk sample is fire. That overall sample is fire. The overall sample is crazy. And then the survivor's remorse joint, like they top 3 for me, not just because of the bars, but also because of the production. So just to round it out, you know what I mean?
Right.
Them joints fire.
All right, we're gonna talk a little bit more rap before we let Rel get into what he's looking forward to.
I like listening to music and talk, bro. This shit
No,
is
but it's some crazy verses coming down the pipeline. So we're gonna get the verses pass out the way, which was the Ray, which was the Chef versus the Ghost. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Built for Cuban links, the Purple Tape versus Mr. Tony Starks himself. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Ghostface Killer. And this is what I think the essence of versus was supposed to be about. Like this didn't feel like a battle of any fucking kind. This felt like 2 brothers coming together, playing their music. Fucking Raekwon rapped every fucking Ghost song, yo.
Right.
He was
dancing this shit.
First of all, let's give a shout out to my OGs, Fresh to Death, dog. Fucking Ghost had the Wallies on crazy, the custom Wallies. If you go on his page, he got the Wallaby shoes. I remember 8th grade when I seen Been Around the World remix video with the powder blue and shit with Carl Thomas, Mason Diddy, and they had the Wallabies on. Y'all wanted a pair of Wallabies so bad, though. I wanted to be from New York. I wanted to be from Harlem so bad with a pair of Wallabies. But shout out to they look fresh, they look good, they sound good.
Time, bro.
Yeah.
Like I said, this was what I think Versus was meant to be when they was thinking about it. This was a complete celebration. I felt no competition of any kind, besides a little brotherly competition here and there, but like I said, I seen Ray spitting Ghost rhymes the whole time. I seen Ghost spitting Ray rhymes. This shit reminded me of a time running around with y'all when I probably wasn't supposed to be with y'all. You know what I mean? Like it just brought back so many good times for me. So that's how I felt about this versus.
No, I agree with you. I think, and to be honest, I don't think there has been too many verses to me that were really competitive. I think for the majority,
just that one.
Yeah, no. I mean, for the most part, they've all been celebrations of each other. Most people have approached them as friendly competition, so to speak, or we're gonna celebrate each other's music. So I really do love that aspect of it. Ray and Ghost, they came into Wu. They were presented to us from Wu as almost a unit within themselves. You know what I mean? So I know that when they was coming into this one, that's what it was going to be. It's good to see them dudes rock. It's good to see them dudes have the energy that they have. You know what I mean? 25, almost 30 years later in the game, and listening to that music, it's funny because for some people, when they see these verses, or you know, they hear these artists come out and they have shows or whatever, you know, they're like, oh man, I ain't heard that in so long. It's been refreshing. It's like, yo, I never stopped listening to these dudes.
Yeah, when your system, all you gotta do is play it on your damn. Just play it.
So it was good to see them get that recognition, you know what I mean, throughout the community of people that was watching it. So I definitely salute and celebrate that. I did have one issue with it. I had one issue. My one issue with the whole verses with them was as it got late, I was like, yo, why are they playing all of these like R&B records that they had features on? Like, that's not what we know them for.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That was pissing me off a little bit.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Except for the Jodeci one, that was my shit. But go ahead.
I'll tell you why. Because one, they OG, so that's how OGs close the party with the slow shit. You know what I'm saying?
No, not no fucking
one
shit. No,
and
nigga,
two,
no, hell no.
And two,
I'm not accepting that.
I know you're not. I'm just telling you how they think. I'm telling you, man. You gotta listen to enough of their music and hear enough of these niggas to think that it's a part of them that think that they smooth and they be trying to get that off. You know what I'm saying? They in front of a versus, it's the biggest crowd that they going. You know what I'm saying? Like they want to get that off. And two is they really outdated in thinking that that's still like the flip side is to hit them with the R&B too, because that's how you get the, you know what I mean? Like,
I just like the feeling.
I don't know. I guess
I like the feeling.
That's my opinion.
The verses.
Okay.
I like.
That's my opinion. That's my opinion.
I got you.
I give you my opinion.
My opinion was I thought the DJs was fucking up the song selection.
The DJs are always fucking up the song selection, man. That's one thing that we need versus DJs training, man. Because Swiss Beats still has the worst DJ. I mean, not Swiss Beats. Fab still has the worst DJ in versus history. Still, I forgot what dude name was, but he was terrible, man. He was terrible.
It started on time though.
He made that start on time.
About the only verses that started when it was.
That might be that new Triller deal.
All right, so look, man, we turning it over to Rel.
Hey, real quick, because you wanted to say something about that too, right? The Raekwon joint.
Yeah, I was saying the feeling, the feeling of older music, man. That's one thing I like about it. Is although like when I listen to music like that, it automatically takes me back to like Philly. For y'all, I mean, that was my younger days. So automatically takes me to Philly. It takes me to the basement. Like, so the feeling that music gives me, being in this musical family, like I don't equate music to like, oh, I like this song. No, I equate music to a time, to a feeling and stuff like that. So hearing those things, it reminds me of hanging out with Tone, hanging out in the room, listening to Kyle Scratch back in the day or stuff like that. So the feeling that stuff gives me is when I listen to them, I go, okay, I don't remember that song, or I don't remember that feeling. And then they play a song, I'm like, I remember that. I remember being in Philly that one summer and Tone was playing this. Like, so all my memories is with Tone and music. So for me, like that feeling of when I see like Raekwon, when I see Ghostface, like all these things, I go, okay, that automatically takes me back to a time. So for me, I'm like, yo, I gotta hear certain things to make me like it. So that's just how I felt on that one. I like the feeling it gave when you go, oh man, it takes me back to my childhood, it takes me back to this moment. So yeah, that's it.
I got two questions for you, Rel. You know what I'm saying? Now we need your music expertise, yo, because you got two joints that's come. One official, and then Swiss Beat, not Swiss. I don't know if it's Swiss Beats or if it's Timberland that's stirring the fucking pot, but they stirring the pot right now, man.
What are you talking about?
So we got SWV versus Escape.
Yep.
That one is official, like a ref with a whistle. That one is coming up. Yeah. Who do you like? When I think of it, and just to piggyback off what you said before you go, I'm the same exact way with you in that feeling. When I think about Escape, when I think about SWV, I think about riding home from your house on Thanksgiving When I had to ride home with Kamel and Aunt Bev, and that's all Kamel played was SWV and Escape on the ride home back. But I definitely remember that year. It was like 96 when y'all first got the house down in Charlotte, when y'all first moved down there. That first time everybody came down. So when I think of SWV and Escape, that's what I think about. And I'm glad that to had this conversation, we got you on to break this joint down. So how do you feel about this one?
It's the same, like as we talk about masculinity, right? Let's bring that into this fold. Bro, I listen to good music. I listen to good music. SWV, Escape, 702, like all of these old groups. See, look what the fuck? Look, dog. Listen, I listen to good music, bro.
Right.
When we talk about what SWV did back in the day, man, they had Sisters with Voices is their name, right? So the fact is, they would kill any track. And let's just not even fucking just talk about that verse. Let's talk about the 90s fucking artists, period, singers. You had to sing. You had to be able to sing. You had to be able to create music. You had to be able to do these things in order to be anybody. Remember Brandy back in the day? Like, let's be real. Like,
she got one of the best voices in the game still.
You had to be a singer. So SWV, if you talking the verses, this one right here for me, I'm thinking people are going to listen to the songs. I just remember the feeling of when SWV fucking came out, bro. Like just the music they put out. Escape was for the ladies that, you know, had their issues with whatever. But I remember certain songs, you know what I'm saying. But SWV was like a mood, bro. Like that's just me. I think if you're gonna talk about a versus, I'm gonna enjoy it 100%. But SWV was a mood, bro. Like it was a vibe, and I'm gonna rock with SWV on that one.
I don't know any person that's picking Escape to quote unquote win this versus. To their point, to their credit, they had a couple of songs, but at the end of the day, man, SWV, the catalog is way too deep,
bro.
You know what I mean? They got way too many songs. They had much more of an impact on the game. We recently just did a road trip coming back from North Carolina, and it's such a long drive. We're always trying to find stuff to listen to. And I put on the SWV Essentials playlist, and I just let it rock. You know what I'm saying? And here we are like 25 years later. I'm like, yo, their catalog is way deeper than people think it is. SWV is going to smash these Escape girls on this one.
Yeah, that minimalistic 90s music is just it. To the point, I think that's why, like I was saying, I fuck with Benny, and I just found out the music that I listen to now and what I like is called connoisseur rap.
Connoisseur rap?
Yeah, they always got some cool shit. They always got some cool shit.
What the fuck they talking about?
Because one, it's a double entendre in itself, Kyle.
Okay.
One is I guess the content and what it is that they talk about, you know what I mean? And in addition to all of the block things and the drug things, but you know, the clothes, the fashion and all of that. And two, it's not really a big market for this stuff outside of Benny and Griselda. You have to be a connoisseur yourself to find it. So I get that, but the name is just like, we know what it is. It's underground. The fuck, it's what it's always been.
Right. Or we can call that shit hip hop.
And we know where to find it. It ain't lost. Yeah, we know where to find the shit. It's not lost. Like,
right.
Okay. But you know, when it starts making its way to mainstream has to do something to give their,
categorize it. Right.
Give their stamp on it. Like, you know, so it's connoisseur rap, Kyle. It's the latest grade.
I'm so sick of these labels, dog.
Oh my God. It's good shit. That's all I thought it was. Like,
well, what do y'all think about the possibility of the Earth, Wind, and Fire versus Isley Brothers versus? What do y'all think about that? We talked about SWV and Escape, but they also talking about this other one can happen.
Now that's more of a Ali Frazier right there, I think. Fire. When I think about Earth, Wind, and Fire, I automatically think about Big Jim. So
all day. Off top.
All day, yo.
That was his favorite.
Yeah,
sure. But to be honest, both of those groups made me think about him because he listened to both of them a lot.
I mean, that's the first person I knew with a fucking MP3 player. He told me it had 15,000 songs. When I said 1,500, he said, "Nah, this joint got 15,000 songs on it."
Right.
He said, I loaded by the album. Like it said,
before the iPod.
Before the iPod, it was a big blue square. It had like a screen like this big on it.
Yo, real talk. If you go to my mom's house right now, I think last time I was there, it was sitting right there on the.
I know that joint is I already listen, man. I've been requesting that joint. I don't know if y'all been getting music off of it, but I need a little taste of that, man. But yeah, Earth, Wind, and Fire, the Isley Brothers. I love Ron Isley. I love his music. I love how he's transcended into our music when we talk about 90s music.
Right.
With the artist who shall not be named. I still some stuff that I love, you know what I mean? But just everything that Ron Isley has done, man. I fuck with him, man. I really fuck with Ron Isley. I fuck with Earth, Wind and Fire. I'm a documentary kind of guy, so I've watched countless documentaries. So for this one, this is going to be definitely nostalgic for me. I don't know, man. I actually had another question. I'll let you go, Rel. But I also had another question for another verses for you because they like I said, they stir in the pot. But another one was Chris Brown versus Usher. So give us both. Give us both.
Don't need to happen. Chris Brown and
Usher. Give us both because they really stir in the pot with that one.
With the Earth, Wind and Fire and the Isley Brothers, I would 100% be down for that. That again, taking me back to a time that would take me back to pops listening to stuff because his big brother listened to it. You know what I mean? Right. So. Earth, Wind, and Fire was always that, and Phyllis Hyman was always on them. My dad had the big old radio downstairs. So
that's kind of sore music right there. That's kind of sore music right there.
Yeah, so that's what I grew up on. That's what I grew up on, man. I grew up on the Phyllis. My mom would play Sam Cooke on one Saturday, and my pops would play Phyllis Hyman and Earth, Wind, and Fire on a Sunday. So it was just that was my house on the weekends, man. So Earth, Wind, and Fire, Isley Brothers, you already know, just like you said, Ron Isley, man, transcended through. I mean, hell, he went to the damn 2000s, bro.
That's what I was. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like,
so just to be even still relevant to where people know who he is, people that's our age or people even younger that know who he is, and they go back to those songs with the artists that will rename nameless.
Right.
Right. So, Ron Isley on a song with Cassidy.
Is he really?
Big business. He was on a rap song, like Rel said in the fucking 2000s. You gotta give it up for Ron Isley, man.
You got to. My take on it is I love it for what it is. I love both these groups, like we said, because I obviously grew up listening to these groups with my father in my house. Earth, Wind, and Fire is super monumental. Isley Brothers is probably right behind them. You know what I mean? I remember having a conversation with my dad about the Isley Brothers, and I remember him saying, well, Ron Isley really couldn't sing that well, but they had great songs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
The word wasn't around back then, but he was the vibe, yo. Ron Isley
he was the vibe. Absolutely. He set the stage for you to do whatever it is you're going to do. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm happy to see this go down, and I'm happy to see it because I think this is the spotlight that some of the older music needs. You know what I mean? So we can keep holding on to it and bring it into the newer generations and things of that nature because we're such a right now culture. You know what I mean? That things that were happening 10 years ago, people act like it's ancient news. Like, yo, it's just 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So I think
I'm people.
It's me, I'm people. So I think it's important, man, because I think it's important just to kind of keep that going, keep that alive, and turn on new people to older stuff and just kind of keep recycling those good vibes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree 100%. I agree 100%.
And all these samples is coming from the old music, man. You see all these people out here now putting out samples or songs, and they sampling the old school songs, and they think it's another song that came out in 2000. They're like, nah, it came out in the 80s.
Right.
Exactly.
Like, wait. Side note: have you been standing up this whole time, bro?
Hey, bro, I can't sit.
He got the stand-up station. I see that, but some days you need that at work, though. I fuck with the stand-up station. Is crazy. I fuck with that, Joe. It's aerodynamic.
Okay.
I got the standing pad and everything, bro.
Right.
Oh shit. Okay.
He out there. It's a bar stool.
Yeah,
it's a modified bar stool.
Yeah,
like,
it's
a modified bar.
I'm good.
So he's sitting at the bar right now. Actually,
right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's happy hour at his house.
It's happy hour at his house.
My glass empty. I need to.
Right.
Yeah.
But they talking Usher versus Chris Brown, man.
They've been wanting to see that for a long period of time.
They've been wanting to see it for a long time. The old versus the new versus the old. I don't got Chris Brown touching Usher, and maybe that's me.
As you shouldn't.
Me neither.
As you shouldn't.
Me neither.
Maybe I'm just being old, but I don't got Chris Brown touching Usher.
Bro, what can you tell me any album that touches My Way?
Nope.
Well, for me, it's the Confessions.
Confessions, bro.
You know what I mean?
Confessions was sick, but
but you gotta talk about both artists. You can't, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
You just compare two Usher albums.
That's right.
He need to be on the problem.
That's the problem for Chris Brown.
He gonna be on one side like this, on the other side like your Confessions.
That right there, therein lies the problem for Chris Brown, right there.
There's
But it's
gonna
not
be
a problem
people.
He
that
can think
he's
of to
trying
be
to
some
do.
Usher shit. It's some Usher shit.
The other side of this coin is the people that think Chris Brown is the second coming of Michael Jackson, which I hear a lot, and I don't understand at all. I
Because he
do understand,
dances.
huh?
Because he dances.
Yeah, but he
I'll
ain't
just
dance. He ain't no
bro. I was
Michael
just about to
Jackson
say I
dancing.
don't know that Chris Brown is beating Usher in the audio affair.
Right.
But he'll bust out a
Fuck
little
no.
crump.
Like, there's no way. Yeah, it's not like not no audio affair.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, you need to see Chris Brown do his shit, and I'm not mad at that at all because he's definitely an all-time great at this point. He's been
Yeah,
in
he's
it
a
since he was
performer.
16.
Yeah.
So at this point, it's all butter. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's definitely an all-time great at this point. But I do think I want to liken it to comedians. You don't really need to see Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
You need to see that nigga Kevin Hart.
Yeah,
Right.
he's a feeling
He's a
actor.
physical
comedy.
comedian. Yeah.
Or as they call it, slapstick.
Right.
So on that point, how far
Uh-huh.
do you think this versus could go? Do you think it could get
Oh, it's
into that
gone.
world?
They
Well, I'm
just
saying,
sold.
I've seen it go into like barbers and stuff like
It's
that. But how
gone.
far?
All right. So explain. So specify your answer when you say how
So-
far and what
So
aspect.
how far can it go as far as other genres or other
It's
fields?
gone. It's gone. It's gone.
Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah.
gone. They sold it to Thriller. When we get off of this, just go look at Thriller. Matter of fact, go get London or go get Cam and
Yeah.
tell them say show Daddy Triller. And you're gonna see how fast it can get to all the fucking other genres.
Yeah.
And that was my conversation last week of why we need our institutions to stay our institutions for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Just a little bit longer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I hope it don't flip too soon though, man, because we got a lot more hip hop and R&B.
Not us
and
no more.
even
Yeah, it's not us, but
throwback
it's not.
so-
It's
But I think they still got a hand in it though. I think they're still making decisions.
because they just sold it 2 weeks ago.
Right. But I'm
Yeah,
hoping, and I'm hoping that they hold on to that control for a little bit
You
longer.
know, shit is quarterly, so we're gonna see the next quarter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we gonna see.
You know how them folk like to do. You know, they
Well,
love,
let me
they love a good quarterly report.
But that's why I was asking, what would you like to see beyond music? What would you like to see in a versus? Because what COVID did was it opened up this door of I need more for entertainment, right?
That's a fact.
When sports was gone, I need more, and versus
That's a
came at
fact.
the right time.
That's a
So
fact.
what else would you like to see? Maybe it's not a versus, but what else would you like to see that's different and could give you that fulfillment of the other type of entertainment? Like I said, I've seen a versus battle come down to barbers, right? They got a barber versus now where barbers are on there on a live cutting somebody's hair with the same style, but who did it better,
Shit.
right? So
Right.
like,
Me into that.
what
I,
kind of
need
other
to, I
stuff?
like shit like I like weird
Yeah.
shit like that. On there. Let me into that.
So like, what other kind of things would y'all like to see? If you could put a versus on it, what other kind of fields would you guys like to see a versus?
I think for me, naturally, it's going to stay in the music world though. But I can see it
Yeah.
going into things like DJ battles. I can see it getting into beat battles. You know what I mean? You could technically do verses on freestyle battles. All of these things are really have been happening over time. It's just they just packaging it,
Yeah.
packaging it differently. You know what I mean? But
Me,
all those worlds where you can compete could technically fit into a versus.
me personally, I would like to see it as I see this NFT shit growing and all of that, and as I'm starting to mature into this world of content creation and just art itself. I would like to see it in an art form. I would like to see different works of art be put up against each other. I would like to see different artists maybe do art live in a live versus just different. I could just think of different content creation kind of things. I could see different
That's
just
kind of
for
dope
me.
though. The artist live.
Mhm.
Yeah, artists live. And shout out to my guy Ende. Back in fucking like '08, we was throwing these crazy parties down the Sanctuary, dog, down what they call Brewery Town now, but which is really like the side of North Philly where it gets mixed and it's not either all black or all Puerto Rican, but it's like a nice mix of people. We used to throw these sanctuaries down there, and he used to do live. We used to do open bar. He used to do live art. You know what I'm saying? While he was down there, like an actual party going on, all type of shit going on, and he in here doing body paint and doing all kind of shit like live while people just, you know what I mean, get your drink, sit, look, go politic, and come back, look, see his progress. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Hell yeah.
on somebody. So I would like to see a lot of that type of shit. I would like to see the arts in general just come to a versus kind of platform because they have opened up a can of worms with that I do like. I do enjoy certain aspects of it.
I want to see actors hit big lines like Denzel. Ah. him drop a line and then somebody else drop a famous line.
Who could do the scene better, right? Who could do the scene better?
The actors versus would be crazy. Who could do it on cue, on scene?
Yeah, that would be live. That would be live. No doubt.
That would definitely be live.
Yeah.
All right, man. I think we pretty much hit about everything, yo. It's always a good time when we get together and build like this, man. Rel, it's always good to have you on here, man. Let people know how they can follow you and get with what you got going on.
Get at me on any social media platform, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is. It's always at Sold by Rel. Yeah, get at me. Charlotte, North Carolina. Like I said, North Carolina, licensed in North Carolina, licensed in South Carolina. Any questions you have about real estate, equity, whatever you need, hit my line, DM me, whatever. I'm always here.
All right. So how can they get at you?
Yeah, you already know how they can get at me, man. Uptown Tone on everything. You know what I'm saying? COVID. Excuse me. Got me laughing. COVID Chronicles Pod on Instagram. 444 Podcast on Instagram. I do want to take some time out to shout out my man Sipping with Sammy. He's doing a lot of good things in the podcast world. He coming up on this 100 episode. I was just on there on 90 something, so I was part of the first 100. So I was part of his history. But he gave me this liquor glass. He gave me that beer mug I've been drinking out of, and this Sam Dana I got on, man. So I'm putting out good energy out there for our pod with other pods, and also got my JBP shit on. So just shout out to everybody in the space doing it, man, for the podcasting pioneers and everybody out there just fucking with it and rolling and doing all that shit. Be out here, man. New media. But yeah, I already know where to find me. Uptown Tone, all that good shit. Holla at me, man.
No doubt. Get at me all social media platforms at Radio King Kyle, WGCI, Chicago, iHeartRadio, things of that nature. And yeah, just hanging around, man, sipping on some Remy, just cooling. You know what I mean?
5 footer. 5
So
foot
next
phenomenon.
time,
You still go by that? You still go by the 5 foot phenomenon?
I haven't used the phenomenon part, but I still use the 5 footer part.
Something like a phenomenon.
Yeah, I mean,
something like a phenomenon.
Yeah.
No doubt. Till next time, man. Streets is talking. You already know.
You already know, man. We out of here, y'all.
Yeah. Proud of y'all, boys.